Hi everyone, this is 8th grade Elevate. Today we will be solving two-step equations. Over the past few days, students have been working on one-step equations. They are going to apply that same knowledge to be successful today. In a one-step equation, students are only solving using one step. However, in a two-step equation, they are solving using exactly two steps. What is important to note and stamp for students is this piece right here. So solving two-step equations is the reverse of PEMDAS. So instead of multiplying or dividing first, like in PEMDAS, you add or subtract first, then multiply or divide. This is important because in a one-step equation, there is only one operation to inverse. However, in a two-step equation, there are two operations to inverse. And so order matters, right? And so this piece that we just read lets you know that anytime you see multiple operations, specifically addition and subtraction as a set, and then multiplication and division as a set, you are always going to do the subtraction or addition first, and then do the multiplication or division. So with that in mind, you are going to take 6 minutes to solve questions 1, 2, 3, and 6. I've chosen these questions because I want to model for students what it looks like to have 4 different types of questions. So for instance, question 1 has multiplication and subtraction, whereas question 3 has multiplication and addition. Question 2 has division and addition, and then question 6 has division and subtraction. Okay, so like we've said, in any two-step equation, we are always going to do the addition or subtraction first. As we've done in one-step equations, we always want to stamp for kids what operations we are seeing first so that we can then identify the inverse operation. So in question 1, we have 4w minus 34 is equal to 2. What operations do we see? We see multiplication and we see subtraction. So we know that in order to solve this effectively, the inverse operations we are going to need to do are addition and division, right? And it told us that the addition or subtraction always goes first. So we're going to first add 34 to both sides. That gets rid of the 34 on this side, and the right-hand side becomes 2 plus 34, which gives me 4w is equal to 36. This is where we would have stopped in previous lessons. However, this is a two-step equation, and we know that we are not done because we have not fully isolated that variable. The w is still being multiplied to the 4, so we have to then divide by 4 on both sides. When we divide by 4 on the left-hand side, it crosses out, leaving us with w. And then when we do 36 divided by 4, we get 8. So w is equal to 8, okay? Question 2, the operations that we see are division and addition. So we know that we have to subtract and multiply. Subtraction first, though. So we're going to subtract by 9 on both sides. On the left-hand side, our 9's cancel out, and we are left with m divided by 5. On the right-hand side, 11 minus 9 gives us 2. So we have m divided by 5 times 2. In order to isolate that variable, the opposite of division is multiplication. So we are going to multiply by 5 on both sides. And that leaves us with m on the left-hand side, and 2 times 5 is 10. So m is equal to 10. Question 3, you are also going to model for students. So this question is a little bit challenging. Still starting with our first set of questions. What operations do we see? We see multiplication. We also see addition. So we are going to divide and subtract. Subtraction first on both sides. We are subtracting 5 on both sides. Here is where it's going to be a little bit challenging here. Negative 30 take away 5. So if I owe $30 to one person and then another friend comes and says, well, you owe me $5 too, together, I owe negative 35, okay? The 5 cancels out on the right-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we are left with 7r. So our new equation then becomes negative 35 is equal to 7r. We are going to divide by 7 on both sides to isolate that r. And we are left with r is equal to negative 5, or negative 5 is equal to r. And then the last question that we are going to do is question 6 as a model, which the operations we see are division and subtraction. So we are going to do multiplication and addition. Addition first. So we are going to subtract by 6 on both sides. When we subtract by 6 on both sides, the 6's cancel out on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have negative 10 plus 6. So I owe $10, but then I get $6 to pay off my debt. So I am left with a debt of negative 4. My new equation then becomes c divided by 8 is equal to negative 4. We need to isolate that c by itself. So we have to multiply by 8 on both sides so that the 8 cancels out on the left-hand side, which is leaving us with c. And then negative 4 times 8 gives me negative 32. So c is equal to negative 32. So from there, we are going to release kids to work with their partners for 10 minutes at a volume level 1 on the rest of the questions on both of these sheets. There's no exit ticket for today because it is a new skill, and we want to make sure that kids have as much practice as possible.